Same thing. I mean, I've been, so we had a band for 7 years, 7 or 8 years, and we did fairs and festivals. And We go by that gun range with the water line.
Before Philip gets away, could you tell him?
He's already connected with
He's already connected with you on that? Okay.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Sort of. You might talk to Jackie about it too.
I told her I had some ideas.
Okay.
And I told him I didn't care.
That's not what she said. Got hot, boys. Just saying. It got hot. Quick.
Pond that you're talking about, is it by the road back there in the corner right there?
It's on the north side,
There's one there, right?
It's actually
just on the north side of my house there.
Hard to go to sleep nights.
Yeah.
It's walking
You
distance.
drive up into your house, driveway's here.
And this to the west.
Okay, here we
Western
go.
driveway.
Vanessa.
Kind of that way outside.
It's along the edge of the highway there.
Yeah,
Leave the rest of
that's
it.
one, okay.
Somebody came fishing the other day and caught crappie. Had said they had a big bass on and got off, or made big bass on, got off, and then caught some bluegill.
I still got good intentions to get
Okay.
out.
Hey,
It's getting
don't,
hot now.
don't
Hold
forget
on.
about,
I'll get you,
Joanna.
I'll shoot you a text.
don't forget about the judge's report.
It's getting hot now. I don't know how fishing is when it's hot.
Oh my gosh, I put Rob.
There's no shade out there. I'm just telling
No,
you.
no.
Resignation on here.
So bring
Well,
your,
I probably put
bring
it
your-
too late.
bring your son.
Bring your big umbrella.
We should do that next time, right? 'Cause you probably gave us 2 weeks.
Vanessa Arthur, first ward.
Here.
Lucas Stansberry, second ward.
Here,
Bill Houston, third ward.
here.
Darrell Westhoff, fourth ward.
Present.
We have a quorum, Mr. Mayor.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the many blessings that you provide us. We thank you for this town. Father, we thank you for its employees, its citizens. Pray that you watch over and keep them. Ask this in Jesus' name.
Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sorry.
Could I have a motion for acceptance of the agenda?
Mr. Mayor, a motion that we accept the agenda consent as presented and regular business to omit letter G.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, at this time, we have public forum. We have Chief Turner.
Good evening, council. I'll make this real short and sweet. So again, I want to tell you my appreciation from last council meeting on the tools. The guys are excited. We should be getting them back within this next week and a half. Back from the manufacturing, they went back there to be service checked, and then they will be delivered to us here in the department. Also, good news is last week I got a phone call from the state fire marshal's office and the Kansas State Firefighters Association. We haven't had an area department that wasn't going to be able to host a state school. And so they know we had been in, I've been working with them close hand in hand and bringing the school to Girard. And for next year, it takes a year's planning to do it. So what that entail, Courtney from the state contacted me and asked if the city of Girard would be interested in hosting the state school August 3rd and 4th, which I know that's during the fair. I said we would definitely take that on and we will make it work. Working with the assistant, the second vice president of the state, putting together a school agenda for 2 days training out here, bringing in all departments in whole of Southeast Kansas. We've got it. It's on our Facebook page, and the state's posted it. So Girard, the city of Girard, will be hosting the Kansas State Firefighters Association School August 3rd and 4th. What that entail, it's quite an honor. We'll have the state fire marshal here. We'll have the National Firefighter Council president here. So we'll have some very important people that's going to be attending this school and the area here in Girard. But I just would like to make you aware that we did get awarded. We did make this work. So we're working relentlessly, getting everything put in place, and look forward towards it. Classes are posted. So we're going to hopefully have a really good turnout from the state. So any questions?
Must be doing some good things to be noticed and to be honored with that situation. So
Very much. Courtney knows that I've been wanting to do this, and we're working for 2025, and working close in hand with the state as well. Good classes, bringing some good classes, some new classes, especially for rural company officers in rural areas. Mr. McPherson, the vice president, said, with these classes that we're bringing in, it's going to be some good first hands-on for some of the rural settings and majority of the departments around here. So
glad to hear it.
Now that 3rd and 4th, is that next year?
no, that's this year.
This year.
This year.
Okay,
That
this year's.
yeah,
Okay.
there was a local department that was scheduled to host it and was not able to under certain circumstances, but they called and asked. They knew we were in the plannings for next year, so we're still in that process. We're planning for next year, hosting one as well, but we're stepping up and doing it this year as well. So
Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Okay, moving on to regular business. Item A, public hearing for neighborhood revitalization plan.
Got to open the hearing, see if there's anybody here to talk about it, and then formally close the hearing just to make sure we have a public hearing.
We're opening the public hearing for the neighborhood revitalization plan.
Mayor, I'm not seeing any takers.
We don't have anybody present, so at this time, we'll close the public hearing for the neighborhood revitalization plan. Thank you.
You should maybe wait 1 minute. I hate to put 506 and 506.
Okay. You want to be 506 to 507?
At least.
All right.
If we
Okay.
could.
We need that Jeopardy music now.
Right. Okay.
Okay, at this time, we'll close the public hearing for neighborhood revitalization.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Item B, consider approval of neighborhood revitalization plan.
It's an ordinance, and you guys have actually already reviewed the neighborhood revitalization plan. Terry updated the map due to changes in ownership of the buildings that are now government or not government. I don't have the ordinance number. Do you have it, Karen?
Let's see, be 1383.
Mr. Mayor, a motion that we approve the neighborhood revitalization plan ordinance 1383 as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Item C, schedule initial budget workshop and rate study.
This is up to you. I don't have an audit yet, so it's probably it might be a fiasco like last year. I do like to still do the budget workshop because I like to ask you guys and get some feedback on your priorities. And I kind of wanted to go over a little bit of the electric rate study and some of the things that they told us about the electric department's financial health. And we also wanted to talk about how to divide up the public safety tax revenue. We were kind of considering just saying 50-50, and each department could have their own, or fire department, police department would have their own capital improvement plan. And just maybe go over the budget worksheets, what we fund and where you guys want your priorities to be.
When do you think you'll actually get the paperwork back on it?
I don't know.
No idea.
He said he would come back to our audit when he's done with the one that he's currently working on, and I haven't heard from him yet.
So is this something we need to do before the next meeting?
No, not necessarily.
When do you have to have the information?
I have to have the R&R, I think the 20th.
July 20th?
Mm-hmm. So it might be best to do it prior to that, because we can discuss the revenue neutral rate, what it is, and
I think our next meeting's the 15th,
Yeah, it is.
so we'd have to probably do it before then, the workshop.
yeah, I think that would probably be best, because then we could discuss the R&R. And last year I did all the R&R required forms without an audit, which it looks like that's what I'm gonna have to do again. So we can kind of discuss that process a little bit too. And I'm good with whenever
What
you
about
guys
next
want to do.
Monday?
That's fine with me.
We do it next Monday at 5? You get your normal.
That'll work.
Work for everyone?
As far as I know, it will work. I'll know more tomorrow, but
Not important.
And if you end up not being able to come, we could always
We can reschedule.
reschedule it.
Yeah. You want to make a backup date? Go Wednesday or something?
Let's say we just make it at 5 and then, or Monday, and then we could,
We're just calling it budget workshop, right?
Why don't we go ahead and make a motion if we could, since we'll have quorum.
Karen prefers a motion because we will have a quorum, so it'll be a public meeting.
Mr. Mayor, a motion that we schedule a budget workshop and rate study for Monday at 5 PM. Should be July 8th.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
What do you need from us? Sorry.
I won't need anything from you. I'll probably get some stuff from department heads, and then whoever, you guys can attend, obviously.
Moving on to item D. Approve Candy Adams for Planning and Zoning Board. I think that's to fill the one of
Mary Crocker,
Mary
yeah.
Crocker when she was on.
Karen, can you give us an update, please, on how that's going and what's been done so far?
As
Like the
in,
dates, and is this part of, she's filling the spot to do the,
she is feeling right. Mary Crocker resigned her position, and so therefore, Candy has accepted that she would fill it. So the date is 3 years. But it ends in March 31st, I believe. I think it starts April 1st.
Typically, they're staggered, so you don't lose all your members at the same
Right,
time.
right.
but this was because we had to call one for the last.
Yes, right. Because Mary had chosen to resign.
Okay.
That's why we're doing it in the middle.
Mr. Mayor, a motion that we approve Candy Adams for the Planning and Zoning Board.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item E, Lead and Copper Report update.
I don't have like a huge update because Jackie explained it all really well at the previous meeting, or whichever meeting that was. We did get the 1,000 or so mailings out. Did you get them out today, Karen, or will that be tomorrow?
No, we're still dealing with postal service.
Okay. Paying for the postage. We're having issues today. All of that is put together and will be mailed out soon. So we want the public to know that those are important. And if you can send them back, it's a federal mandate that we have to complete this report. And I believe Jackie would know better than I. If they don't return it, what happens?
Will they be knocking door to door?
Okay.
Yeah, you have
You have to
to
have them back.
That's all we can do.
really need them back.
What we'll do is we'll go with the areas that somebody turned one in, and if that house is the same as 6 of them and 5 of them didn't turn it in, we can assume the plumbing. So it'll be a process. But we got to get some of them back. I got one.
Mickey's.
The mayor was the first one. Hopefully that makes the paper.
Are we gonna put a reminder out on the monthly bill?
We can, yeah.
I think, Philip, you were gonna do an article also, weren't you? Just about them filling them out and getting them mailed in.
It'll be in this article.
Okay.
And then I got an idea for Karen later.
Oh, good.
Wonderful, thank you.
Good.
What we're sending out.
Yep, it's put in there.
Amazing.
I think that's it, Mr. Mayor.
Moving on, item F, review school zone light bids.
Do you want to talk about it?
No.
Okay. School zone lights, I believe they have been malfunctioning as far as I know for a long time. Cliff finally found a manufacturer that can retrofit them. The bid is in your guys' on Dropbox. I did go ahead and contact the state to ask if there's any more grant funding available for solar lights, and they basically told me the whole state got 1.8 million and we already got almost 10% of it. I think we're gonna have to pay for these, but I think we can pay for it out of the transportation fund. I know this is something that Jeff McDonald told me that we do get complaints on. I'm not 100% what the issue is. Is that it flashes when it's not school zone time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some don't flash, there's some that won't turn off, they're still going, and then we have one that's just a solid yellow light. It's
Well,
not-
I've noticed that there's one that's still on during the summertime when there's no
So
school.
they're just malfunctioning all over the place. As soon as one went down, it was pretty much a rolling effect, a domino effect. They all
We-
went.
Only have that one bid. We could not find. I know Cliff looked, and I think Jeff McDonald also looked, and this was the only company we could find that would do the retro. And didn't you say they
could buy
even?
brand new ones?
But
With
don't-
holes and everything, but these are just retro.
Yeah. And didn't you say this manufacturer even had some trouble?
Mhm.
Finding-
On the old ones, yeah. we
Yeah.
couldn't get any parts for the old ones.
Did he price out new ones, Cliff?
No, I did not. She said she didn't even try that.
$100,000, huh?
Probably.
I was just curious.
It's too much.
So we do have the funds and transportation, you said?
Yeah, we have. Well, when I get audit back, I'll know for sure. But I know we have well over $1 million in the transportation fund. That as soon as we get this water project with the lines done, which we were supposed to get done this summer, but KDHE approval isn't finished yet. I would like, and we'll talk about this at the budget workshop too, but I'd like to keep a big enough balance in there that whenever we do get the water lines finished, we can do a large mill and overlay in town for interior streets. And I've already talked to Commissioner Blair about it, and we might be able to get more done than usual. He said the county might help us out with their equipment.
They were good about that.
And this isn't something that KDOT has a hand in, being on
I don't
highways?
think so, does it?
Mhm.
We can get some funding from the state.
Is that the links is for? That's how we get that money?
Yes.
Yeah, we already get money for stuff like this.
Part of the transportation fund, the transportation fund has the transportation tax in it. That's what we use to do the interior streets usually, or matching money for the grants that we get for sidewalks and highway. But we also get what Lucas is talking about, the Kansas Connecting Link. So many, many years ago, the state said, if you guys maintain your own highways, we'll give you X amount of money every year.
And that's in the transportation fund.
And that also goes to the transportation fund. Yes, it's not enough to maintain the highways though.
Right.
That's why they have all the grant programs.
I was gonna ask that, so we did that, wasn't 47 like 5 years ago now or something?
It was
It
3.
wasn't that long. Was it? I think it was maybe 2019.
Okay.
I thought it was
Was it?
pre-COVID.
Oh, maybe it
I think it
was.
was 19 because I came the end
Maybe
of
it was.
17. And I
So-
remember working on it.
What about 7?
We
Any part-
received a grant for 7 for part of it. With the limits on the grant funding, we can do like 2 to 3 blocks at a time, and we're doing concrete because I did talk to Hugh Vogel. He's one of the head engineers at KDOT, and he said our truck traffic, our semi-truck traffic has increased on 7, so he recommended going ahead and going to concrete. But concrete and asphalt prices have come a lot closer together, so it's not a lot more pricey. But they did fund, Jackie, do you remember, was it 2 or 3 blocks that we'll be doing? And that'll come out of the
2 or
transportation
3
fund.
blocks
He probably-
on 7.
I'm not talking loud enough for Jackie to hear me.
On 7 highway, what's the blocks, number of blocks?
I think it starts, I have 2. I would have to check because I have one that was awarded that I wrote, and I have one more that's still being considered. And that was when you guys all went to Fredonia to look at the solar array, and Jackie and I stayed behind to meet with KDOT that day. So.
I think most of it's in pretty good shape, but I know that was a big,
Mhm.
like, on our radar because of that, just because there's so much money to repair.
Yes. So we kind of have to piecemeal it out, but luckily with our transportation tax, we do have the money to provide the matching funds to the grant. So, and they're usually like 75-25. So 75% KDOT will pay for, and 25% we have to put up. So.
So any more questions on the
I've got
school
one, Cliff.
zone lights?
On this quote, is there any warranty on this retrofit? There's nothing on here about a warranty. I can-
I don't know. I've never even asked. I imagine it is.
Might be
I
something
know
to
on the
look into.
batteries, they're for 10 years, the warranty, and I remember her saying that.
Well, my theory
On the
was
solar
if we're
panels,
having,
I don't
if we're
know.
having issues now and still
Mhm.
got the base, and you're just retrofitting, it'd be nice to know if we had any kind of warranty on the new, on the retrofitted parts.
If you want, we can table it and Cliff can ask, and you guys can vote on it
I don't
next
think it
time.
needs to be tabled, it's just something that needs to be checked in.
Oh, well,
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll
was
call
gonna say we
tomorrow.
can approve
Hey,
it.
Daryl, I do see a 1-year subscription. I'm assuming that might be software.
that is the software.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do it. I mean, on the software, you can just do it with your laptop. You can still do it. You just don't have to pay for the first.
Your guys can do it.
Oh, okay.
Your department can take care of it.
Yes, yes.
Please can't do.
Oh. Chief,
Turn it on.
no, I didn't. I just assumed since he was putting them up, he was going to deal with it. If you have to deal with it, okay.
Mr. Mayor, I motion that we approve the school zone lights bid to retrofit the existing school beacons in the amount of $26,845.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. No further regular business. We'll go on to governing body comments. Vanessa?
Well, I just want to remind everybody that tonight would be fireworks and shindig in town. And I hope everybody gets a chance to enjoy that. I know it's a quick meeting, but I want to say thank you to everyone for doing your jobs and, you know, going over and beyond, because I know you do. Just everybody keep safe. Remember to use the amenities in town. If you have a problem, come up to the office and talk to the girls. They're great about that kind of thing. Aside from that, as I always say, keep your children safe. Keep them on the right side of the street when they're riding their bikes, when they're walking. I see a lot of people out walking, so just, you know, keep your family healthy. With that, that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Lucas?
Mr. Mayor, I have everything Vanessa said, but stay hydrated. That's all I got.
Bill?
Important.
Speaking of amenities, are those restrooms still locked up behind the courts,
Tennis courts?
the public restrooms?
I don't know.
Well, they've been locked
I
up, they
think-
were locked up, and we had discussed about getting them
Yeah.
open to where they could be used. And I didn't know if that'd been done yet or not, or worked on, or,
I thought we were gonna get cameras on them. Was that the deal?
Huh?
Weren't we gonna talk to Crockett or Karen about putting
Yeah.
cameras on them?
Last I remember, we were going to talk about cameras, but I think there's also a lot of construction. I think there was a lot of damage to the building inside, but
Oh.
that's the last I remember.
Yeah, we talked about the vandalizing of it and ways to try to keep on top of that. The only way possible is to have an exterior camera. So they've been locked ever since.
I knew the cameras had been mentioned, but there's no sense having them back there if they're just there. You know, like say, more than one person's been fooled by thinking there's a restroom and there's not. It's not a very good feeling when you've counted on that, you know, and I know you got people that utilize those courts, you know, and play there. And it'd be nice to have those facilities open where you gotta jump in the car and run home.
Yeah.
And then you come back, playing pickleball or whatever you're doing. It just interrupts that and you have to come back when you got the facilities right there. And that's what they were built and intended for, so.
We'll look for keys, see if we can get in there and look at them. And then Karen can probably get with Crockett and
I think
ask
we
about
had,
a
I think
camera.
we had terrible vandalism. That's why we closed them. Yeah.
It
Remember
was.
Steve
That's
talking
why I think
about
we're
that?
gonna need a
How much
camera.
vandalism he was
Mhm.
having it, and when he was here, Steve was talking.
Well, yeah, I
over
knew
that.
there was a vandalism issue, or had been in the past.
Yeah.
But, sure, we can put up cameras or, you don't fix the problem by ignoring it. I mean,
Yeah.
so it just seems like they ought to be where people can use them. Anyway, thanks to city employees. That's all I've got, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Darryl?
Thank the city employees and all the department heads. Keep things rolling and have a safe and happy 4th of July.
Mr. Mayor, can I add something? I've seen a lot of the golf carts and, you know, the little gators and vehicles going by. Just a reminder that people need to get those tagged and they need to have that emergency reflector on the back of them and stay
Mhm.
off the highways.
Mhm.
We cannot be, if you're crossing over, that's one thing, but going down 7 highway through the middle of town, it is not worth the risk.
We
Too
got
many
two highways.
semis, too
We got
many.
47 and 7. We got 2 of them.
Right. I've seen it myself, just people just flying down the road on them. Stay off the highways. It is not safe. I don't care who you are. People speed down them all the time and they don't expect you, especially at night. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Well, I want to thank everybody for what they're doing and enjoy the 4th of July tonight. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, a motion that we adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.
Plenty of time to make it.
I thought.
Still on?
Hang on.
Got another beat?